muted himself.
I
find the whole
thing my clicking
bizarre. Becca says, I found the whole thing weird considering phone noises based are fundamentalist evangelicals. I wonder how many emails they're going to get from a very irate audience for inviting a witch, right?
Like they do.
JR says, Johnny, get her on petty boots. Yeah, my cards make absolutely no sense, but that's what happens when you use the mortgage broker. Honestly, I think that it's like all joking aside, I feel like this is like you're grasping at straws, you're pulling strings, you're trying to do whatever you can to get attached to any small audience that you can. What I think is super funny about it is that we in the YouTube world here, we know that it's a really big deal here. The political tarot, it's a big deal in it, and I don't know that Fox has a clue. I mean, maybe they do, and if they were trying to tap into that market, I think they missed it. For entertainment purposes only. Sorry. Right? Don't you think so? A little bit, maybe.
I think so. A lot of it, yes. That's not their wheelhouse. Now, mind you, there are sort of right-leaning people who do these readings and things. I don't know if that's her. I don't know her, so I don't know if that's her thing or not. But
yeah.
I guess we'll see how far this goes, or if that was just a one-trick pony.
I wanna know, like, just for a moment, allow me. How do you think they found her? Like Yellow Pages? Was she recommended? Did someone else get a reading? Like what? Should we ask?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm gonna ask.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hi, Spiritual Rain. I sent you an email, love.
There are, because now I was able to stream this to my channel too. So,
oh yeah, there's a lot of people in here.
On people's names. So, just for those watching, we're not on my channel. We are on Kelly's channel, technically. So, can I put your channel? Wait a minute. Pause for the calls. Right now. Make sure that's mute.
Oh, the first card that I got out was Sunken Ship. Whoops. We're doing random questions for anyone that's interested. These are not personal questions. They're random questions. We started out with how do the balls around the world that dropped for New Year's feel? So we read on that. And now we're reading about the clip that Johnny put up in the in his community tab about the tarot reader that was featured on Fox.
So we're
asking where they found her from.
Kelly channel there. I put it in the chat. So make sure you go and subscribe right there.
Thank you, kind sir. Well,
okay.
This is really testing my limits, I have to tell you. You think you're a good reader until
you get one of these kind of questions. It's like, okay, shift the brain outside of the norm.
Don't blame it on the questions, blame it on the cards.
Yeah.
It's the cards' fault.
Because they're not tarot cards, so they don't have
a
box you can put it in. I got Hourglass, the King, and Love. They found her from some guy. It's like a friend of a friend.
Murdoch must have had a reading.
Some guy really this has been done before, so this is talking about time. So they know her from somewhere. She's not completely random. She is a friend of a friend type of thing. And
I'm
so
telling you, it's the guy Rupert. Doesn't he owns them, right?
my son does now, I think. But yeah, pretty much. They're all the same.
Maybe he's got her on, like, what do you call that? Like speed dial. You know how people like have like a masseuse on speed
She's
dial,
on retainer.
right? This is interesting. So I've got the sunken ship. I've got the bulldozer. And I've got the knife. And on the bottom, if you care, we have the breath. I feel like this is telling me that they do know about the big political tarot sort of following, and it's almost like they're trying to like poke fun at it somehow. Oh, I'm offended now. Hi, Ron. Happy New Year, my friend. For realsies. Yes, yeah. Christine says the first card that she pulled was pulled for Trump was the Hermit. She deduced sorrow and looked uneasy. Yeah, it was the Five of Cups. Yep. So interesting. All right.
She did interpret it correctly. I will say that. She said that he's focused on what he has lost instead of what he has left, which is what the Five of Cups is. The Nine of Pentacles, she said, means that, because I was provided, that he's got a lot of money coming in, more than what he would normally have. That's not
exactly
no, but the Nine of Pentacles is wealth you built over time. Right. Because it's like you're now in a position where you're financially stable, you can afford the luxuries and things of that nature.
Yeah, it's like a feeling of contentment, right? That you get to a certain stage of your life where you can sort of like put your feet up and enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? Yeah. It's not really like, ooh, hold on, look at all the money I got. Like,
exactly. It's not lottery winnings. This is not a whole bunch of money coming in. It's security is what it is. Yeah. But fine.
We're not going to argue about it. Okay. What's a random question, Johnny? Give us a random question.
Oh, Lord. Actually, I have a list. Wait a minute.
Of course you have a list.
I always have a list.
So I just seen someone asking, I think it was Rain, saying that it's like spring in New Brunswick, which is also in Canada, for those of you that are in the States and don't know that. Today, here, this afternoon, it was 1 degrees Celsius. Tonight, we are expecting minus 20 degrees Celsius. And then over the next couple of days, it'll go back up to like spring temperatures. It's just, not sure what the cold snap is all about, but we got the fireplace on, we've battened down the hatches, got out the flannel sheets, we're ready to go.
It's like almost 60 degrees here.
Oh, be quiet.
Now it's January. Give me the 30 and the 40. Like, let me have the cold when it's supposed to be cold, because you're going to give me the hot when that sucker comes on.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, true.
Can we not with the heat right now?
Right.
Random question for the oracle cards, and maybe this can lead into some empowerment too.
Okay.
Will there be a increase in the belief of metaphysics in 2024?
Like it.
Because our here in the States, our church attendance is going way down, and it has been for like 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. So will metaphysics have an increase?
Gina's place, hello. Gina just put in the chat, hi everyone, I'm just getting here. Just learned that the Epstein list drop has started. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Hi, Sharon.
Yeah.
So interesting. I got 3 cards that came out all at the same time. That means that they need it.
My
Sorry.
first
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
exchanging gifts. Exchanging gifts is putting a value to something. So, by the book would be something that people can stick to and follow to sort of not get lost. So, this is like, and then observer. So, right now we are inching away from the things that we once knew to put value in the things that we actually like, instead of the things that are put upon you from childbirth. And so it's like, you are a Christian because we said, you are Jewish because we said. Now this is going to be more of, what do I gravitate to? What is the thing that I put the value into? And then you sort of slowly inch away and do your own thing. So will it increase little by little? But I think, yes, it will, actually.
So interesting. I sort of kind of got the same kind of thing. I went for the spellcasting oracle, and 3 cards came out. So I've got New Beginnings. I don't know if you feel this, like this is coming through in a lot of my readings that I've been doing lately. It feels like there's been a shift, and or a shift is occurring, and the shift, I think, is taking the emphasis away from the collective and bringing it closer to like the person. So sort of like, I'll heal me and make me happy, and then my light will shine out to whoever needs to sort of gravitate towards that, and then that's when I will connect, as opposed to the way it seemed to be prior to that, whereas collectively we were trying to lift each other up. I don't know if that makes sense or not. The next card is Protection. So again, sort of on that vibe, it's like a way to lift yourself up, like a different sort of understanding, right? Like, what I'm doing isn't working, so now I'm going to switch over to this and see if I can like do this for myself, right? And then that brings towards this great feeling of inner peace. I kind of love that. Beautiful. So yes, I think that slowly but surely it will eventually, like over time, we will see a major difference, but right now it's more like a feeling difference. And I don't know though that people will, be shouting it from the rooftops.
Can we ask then what people can use for encouragement, I guess, or empowerment to make that leap? Because mind you, I didn't come from a family that was overly religious.
Right.
So I didn't have any shame about reading tarot cards. I didn't go in the bathroom in the closet to do that.
Right.
But some people are so disconnected from that part because they don't want everybody else to know that that's what they like or that's what they do. And that's, whatever. But what kind of advice could we give to those who want to but can't or afraid to?
Yeah, like when I started reading tarot, I just owned it. You know what I mean? I didn't try to hide it, but I do know that there's a lot of people that feel like they can't, for a variety of different reasons, that they can't really say it out loud, which is a shame, especially when, my experience with it has been like, I'm so passionate about it. So if you enjoy it, if you're good at it, if you're passionate about it, any and all of the things, how sad it is that you can't share that. If you want.
Like, I have a sister that she believes that that divination is a tool of the devil and that nobody can predict the future but God and all that. But this is not. We never had a conversation of condemnation.
Right.
Like, that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do it. That's her attitude towards most things in life.
Which is a great attitude.
Because she's an actual Christian. It's like, love the person, but you ain't gotta love what they do. But love the person and keep your opinion to yourself.
Right. Interesting cards I'm getting.
You know what's comfortable for you. Now, in order for a seed to become something greater, it does have to break. It has to break through. It has to break through the dirt. It has to break through the shell. It has to break through something. So sometimes there is force that needs to happen. There is some uncomfortableness that needs to happen as well. I got change in the winds. There is sometimes a need, not always just a want, a need to shake things up or to force through the dirt so that you get your photosynthesis on, so you can get life from somewhere else.
Right.
No place like home does speak of comfort, and so
get out. Look.
It does speak of comfort. Where do you want to be? What's comfortable to you? So it's one of those things where, yes, we can't yank you out of the closet and say be free without knowing what happens afterwards. Do you have the support? Do you have the blah blah blah? But you're going to have to find a new space to be comfortable in. The observer here is not just a person who stands back and watches, but it stands back and assesses, collects the information, and then makes a decision. And so you're going to have to change it up. And this is one of them things to where you just might have to just push yourself out of the nest. And you can fly because this is your journey. Those other people do not live your life. It was given to you to live, so you might as well start trying. Find your new home. Find your new comfort.
I totally love that. Totally love it. So, first card I pulled, this is from the Prism Oracle, and I got anger. Second card I pulled is from the, what is it called? Good, great. The Everyday Witch Oracle. Now, I love this deck, but the writing is so small. And I'm not as young as I used to be. I'll have to borrow one of Johnny's pairs of glasses over here. Okay. So this card says accept love. So I feel like there's like a need, there's like a want to bridge the divide, close the gap, be able to express ourselves openly, freely, without judgment. Like there's like a need, right? I've got the truth coming out. But I feel like this is like someone speaking their truth, right? Like they want their truth. There's so much emphasis put on tarot for like telling future and, is X going to still love me in 6 months? Like that kind of vibe. But it can be so helpful and so useful for personal healing, learning about shadows, working through, like if you have anxiety, panic disorder, like I do, like it can be so helpful on a personal basis that you never share with another person, right? So the truth, we've got peace, and then we've got home. And so I really feel like this is like creating that solid foundation. Like I can't afford a therapist, so I'm going to pick up a deck of tarot cards and I'm going to do my own sort of therapy on my own self. You know what I mean? I'm going to use the tarot to help me heal. And there's when the accepting love part, because of the peace, right? So you do it, you feel it, you see that it's making a difference. It's doing something for you. You feel better, and now you want to share it. And then you get a little sort of politely ticked off that it is not more accepted. I think that once you know what tarot is and what tarot can do, that's when you go, really? You think this is the devil's work? Really? What?
Because most judgments come out of ignorance, because we make up what we don't know.
Right.
And so it comes out of ignorance, which is fine, but
someone's saying there's nothing at Johnny's Amazon wish list. What?
May have the wrong link or something because
Oh,
you know me and tarot cards. There's plenty of them there, so
yeah, right.
the link is broken.
Thank you, Sharon, for putting Johnny's stuff in there. Spiritual Range says, for me, tarot is all about self-therapy, personal development, and inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it can be for anybody. Which, again, just like you said, that's the key word right there. Once you figure out what it is and not what you think it is,
right,
then it's a completely different thing. I don't personally even believe in the devil. So it's, and when I have that conversation with people about, that's the devil's thing. And I understand where they're coming from, but it's now hard to deprogram a person's mind out of devil. There's such a thing as evil and evil energy, but you're putting a character to it so that you have something to hate. Yeah. And so I think that part is just about control, because that's what the devil was created for, to keep people in line. If you don't do what we say, then you go to the lake of fire and burn forever and ever and ever with your dice and bones and cards and crystals and yoga. Meanwhile, if I opened a church and did all those things and called myself a prophet and not a psychic, it'd be just the same thing.
Right.
It's like, so once you learn what it is, you'll be all right.
True that. Hi, Stephanie. Christine says, I just got my new tarot decks from your link last week. Beautiful cards.
Oh, great.
Yay. Okay. So we've got time for like one more random question. Oh, I'm just scrolling up here. Lois said people are afraid of negative judgment. They absolutely are. They absolutely are.
Well, on that note as well, what's negative? Is it negative because I don't like it, or is it negative because it was said with negativity? Because if you just don't like that a thing has been said, you still need to address why you don't like it. I always say, figure out the why and not the who. Yeah. Somebody says a word to you and you don't like that word, figure out why you don't like the word. That way, when the next person comes along and says it, it means nothing now, because you've taken the power away from it. So is it negative because you don't like it, or negative because it was said with negativity?
Right.
Because if you venom at me, then I can then understand, oh, you're a broken person, so I'm not going to take on your negativity because you're trying to hurt me. So that's you're just being goofy at that point.
Yeah.
But if you said something that pricked something that was an old trauma,
yeah,
a completely different thing.
Yeah. Spiritual Range says, is it negative because maybe it's true and that's why you don't like it? I mean, I know that prior to this experience in my life, I don't know that I would have been even paying attention to, 1 minute I answered or responded in that way, and the other time I responded in a different way. After my mother passed away. And yes, I smoke, and it's a horrible thing, and I don't encourage anyone to do it. But I was outside having a cigarette. And, as one does when you smoke, and the comments that were levied at me, didn't your mother die of lung cancer and you smoke? And I was like, excuse me? And then someone else can say something not that way, but similar to that, condemning the smoking, and I don't react in the same way. And that's when I had to sit myself down and say, now, what about that is making me feel the way that I'm feeling? Because I'm feeling a whole lot of things that I should not be, at this moment. Mm-hmm. Right. And I really, truly had to take a step back and be like, oh, okay, I really need to think this one out. Because it struck a chord in me. I felt shame that I was, doing something that I should not have been doing. And I felt badly for it. And so when that person said that to me, I reacted. mostly because I was angry at myself, not because I was angry at them, right?
And
But
that's
I learned my response. Sorry, my response then became this: that there is nothing that you are going to say that is going to shame me. I watched my mother die. That was my response.
and that's the higher ground, and that's where you should go.
Right.
I think
This
out
is
of
my kitty cat Quincy, for those of you that don't know, and Quincy is just making his first appearance tonight. Normally, it's an obstacle course, and he just runs like in circles all around all night long. Hi, buddy.
I think I might have slipped an expletive or two in there because don't come at me like that. If you see something you don't like, and I say it all the time, and I've never tried to sound ugly when I say it, but literally go watch anything else.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's go with that. That can be our last random question. Why do people feel the need to make a comment, like whether it be on social media? I mean, because we've all seen it, right? Why do people feel the need to make a negative comment? Like, for example, someone could come into this chat tonight, like after this video is posted up, after the live is over, and say, no, thank you. I didn't enjoy this.
Why do you need to say that? Just go away. Don't watch it again.
Just go away.
Like I don't go to Baskin Robbins and say, I really don't like this flavor. I don't like that. Just don't buy that one. Then it's
Right.
What's wrong with you, child of the corn? I don't understand.
Oh, everybody thinks you're so cute. That's because they don't know you, right? No, you're still adorable. He has the longest tail in the world, friends. The longest tail in the world. Don't you? Yes, I'm holding your tail up. He is literally laying on the desk. I'm going to flip my camera, so bear with me here for a second. Nope, now that I've said it, he's like, I'm not cooperating. You're not showing me.
I'm not Showtime ready.
He doesn't like to be held, so that's a bit of a problem. But he has a tail that likes to lay on the cards. All right, so why do people feel the need to leave negative comments or say something negative? Yeah. It's like, I don't want to be like ridiculous, but I was brought up saying, I was brought up being told, like, if you don't have something nice to say, like, then don't say it at all. And I'm not saying that you
brought up, if you're going to talk mess, do it under your voice.
Yeah, right? That's right, Shelly, not ready for his photo op. Rosie would do it. I have 3 cats and a dog. Someone is always ready for a photo op at my house. Oh, and he's gone. Sorry. All right, what'd you get, Johnny?
Interesting. It is a... Okay. Okay, got it. There is go the distance, feel change, poised. It's when you are in a place where you're not comfortable with who you are or where you are, thus where you currently are, you have a problem with, and you say it. There is no need to be ugly. There is just a need to reassess. What you should do is then look inside and figure out what is missing. Because if you have contentment within your life to where that contentment is organic and it's not something you went and stole and blah, 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 then you can't help but be happy for somebody else. If you run across something you don't like, you do not put out a negative vibe. I heard a comedian say, because somebody asked him, why are you so generous? He said, because when I make a withdrawal from the divine bank, I don't want it denied. And so when you are in a place, because poise is calm, cool, and collected. So this is kind of what needs to happen for the person on the other side. But when you are in a place where you are not happy, then you need to find your happiness. But you leave behind little traces of negativity along the way. And that's the thing you should not do, but that's kind of why they do it. They don't see it necessarily all the time as negative, but it's in here. You carry nothing but that with you. You just ain't paying attention to it.
Yeah.
So every time you open your mouth, some shite fall out. So there's that.
I got pain. I've got sadness. And I've got confidence. I think that some people try to like fit in with a group or try to be cool or to be accepted. I think all of us, if we can think back to like our teenage years, that we knew someone like that. Someone who didn't know how to get attention the right way. And so, you know, sort of, it's like, what am I trying to say? Words, Kelly, words, where are the words, friends? It's like reinforcing negative behavior, right? It just to the point about the negativity. So most of you know, I have diagnosed anxiety panic disorder and you know, 12 years of my life was residing in that space. And I literally had to relearn my thinking patterns so that I would not reside in that space anymore. And I used to get quite offended when people would say to me, you know, you're negative. And I'd be like, oh, me? I'm the most positive person I know, right? Like I'm always happy and bubbly but like, that's not what it is. When I'm upset, when my emotions are raw, when I felt panicked, that is when the negativity would come out of me. And it was interesting in review because I wasn't aware of it. Do you know what I mean? It became just like this natural sort of pace that I would sort of have, and no idea. Obviously went to a lot of therapists and all that kind of jazz, and which I highly recommend for those of you that may need it. And I took cognitive behavioral therapy, which is CBT, so Cat, Bob, Tom. And that is a way to, it's an instrument that helps you to realign your thinking into a more positive framework. And I literally every day have to choose my words and read words and with that in my mind so that I don't go to that place. So like I get it, I get the negativity, but what I don't get is that negativity was only for me. It wasn't cast out to the rest of the world. Like I wasn't going around stomping my feet and yelling at everyone. So I understand, but I still don't get it. Like as negative as I have been, you see comments in social media and stuff, and you're like, you know, especially in the political thing, right? You know, oh, you're a boomer and you're a this and you're a that. And you're like what? Like none. I just think I honestly think that especially on social media, there's like there's the anonymity factor, right? Where you can't see me, you can't find me, so I can like say whatever I want. And it's almost like someone like hits the button and they're like, they can't stop themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Because venom tastes good, it's just bad for the stomach.
Right.
So when you spew it out, you like that taste, you like that reaction, you like that you got to zing somebody. But your core, your chakras, your energy, your thing that you hold with you it's not good for that because it poisons everything else.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you can spew it out because you like the way that tastes. You like that excitement. You like that thrill of throwing a word out there. You this and you that. But that carry this around you. You carry that too. You don't just dump out negativity. It stays with you too.
Mm.
It's one of them things. It's got a coating. And so it stays with you.
It really, really does. That's interesting. That's interesting that you said that. I like that coding because that sounds very. That sounds like something that is useful in my everyday, just working on myself and trying to keep myself on the straight and narrow. If you know what I mean, so that I don't ever go there.
That's how you get rid of stuff that leaves a coating. You have to thin it out. And it may never go away because human beings are cycle creatures. But you have to thin it out. That way it's not so heavy next time. And when it does hit, it washes away a little faster and a little faster and a little faster.
And that really for me is the key, right? It's the so like I don't leave the house for example, right? Me, myself, and I. Thank you for the super sticker. Very kind, much appreciated. Many blessings to you. So I don't leave my house, and when I say I don't leave my house, I'm not saying this to you guys because I want you to, like I'm not asking you to feel bad for me. I'm just explaining. When I say I don't leave the house, it's not because of the pandemic, and I don't not leave my house because I just don't feel like going anywhere. I have a problem. I don't leave my home, and I have not done in 4 years. And on Christmas Day, I was supposed to go to my sister's house for Christmas, and it's like a 2+ hour drive one way to her house from me. And we had to take the dog with us, who is, almost a year old. And I'm like a total nut job. You know what I mean? Like I'm freaking out. For whatever reason, hours, like up till noon, I was visibly vibrating. I was that my anxiety was like up here somewhere, right? It's just a lot of pressure. I don't know what happened. I came back here, which is my spot. It's my space, right? I was getting ready and I'm like, you got this. You're going to be fine. You're good. You're good. You want to go see your sister and you want to see your girls, right? My nieces. Got my makeup on. I got my hair done. I got dressed. I walked my butt to that truck. I got in it. I went down the road. I was fine. Nothing. And the whole way there, I was like, okay, it's a little soon to celebrate the achievement here because we're not there yet. You know what I mean? And literally it can change on a dime. So I was kind of like, while I was there, I had a fabulous time. And then I don't know what happened. And it was just like, here it comes. And I'm like, okay, gotta go. And so we left. Once I got in the truck and I knew I was on the way, back home again, I was okay. And the whole point in me mentioning this is to sort of sync up to what we were talking about, the negativity, but more so just about, the whole thumbnail about the new year and the fresh start, why I have a channel, all of these things, right? I want to take the blame and shame out of it. There are so many people walking around with a mental health disorder that we should not have to walk around hiding it. It doesn't define you, it's what you deal with. No different than you don't like broccoli, for example, right? Doesn't define you, doesn't make you a good person or a bad person. It's just you don't like broccoli and you deal with it. Move on. But the society that we're in right now, shame, and there's a lot of blame being put. I mean, mass shootings, it's because of mental health. That's having, got to be mental health. there's a lot of blame and shame going out there about mental health, and I don't want people to feel like they have to hide it because it's a bad thing, right? Remember that, if you have an illness, it doesn't define you, right? And I sort of wanted to say that because of that reason, and also because of the negativity, because I could have beat myself up something fierce, right? Look, you couldn't even make it through one visit, but I did. And I celebrated the bejeebers out of it when I got home, and then I got sick. Because I honestly think the release of all the anxiety, and I was sick for like 5 days. So, but I did it, and that's the point, right? So I will get off my soapbox.
And mental health, you have to consider too, is an umbrella term.
Yes.
A person being bipolar is not the same as anxiety. A person with anxiety is not the same as depression. A person with depression is not the same as schizophrenia. But it's all mental health disorder. So keep that in mind too.
Right. Sorry, I'm laughing at my husband because he's 38 seconds behind. How did that happen? I'm like, what?
Your feed can skip. The little live button should always be red. If it's white, you're behind. Thank
you, Joyce. Thank you, everyone, for the shout outs. I appreciate the support more than you know. Friends, show Johnie some love if you don't know who he is, which I can't believe that you don't, but there you have it. His link is in the description box below the video. Sunday nights at what time? 8 p.m., right?
I don't know. 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
Right. And this week you're going to be on whose channel?
The House of Lenormand.
Right. And that's Becca's channel.
Yes.
By the way, if you guys didn't see the live stream that they did on New Year's, it was absolutely phenomenal. You raised how much money for charity, or for the
$500, I think, so far is where I think it was.
Yeah. And that was for the World Kitchen.
Central Kitchen.
World Central Kitchen. Yeah, it was beautiful. So, Johnie, thank you.
Thank you. Anytime, every time, I told you.
I'll be saying that. I'll be calling you like, hey, guess who? No. Oh, hi, Jen Lynn. Jen Lynn says $9,100 was raised. Absolutely phenomenal. And they had just, tons of great readers with them. It was just wonderful. So
$9,150.
That's so good. So good. So thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Do go check out Johnie and of course Jen Lynn and Becca. They read together on Sundays. If you're into the political stuff, you will not be sorry. You will not be sorry. Whether you're into the political readings or not, I guarantee you that you will have more than a good giggle. All right, friends, we're going to leave it there. I have a reading coming out tomorrow, and I will be live on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, doing something. I'm not sure what yet. But thank you, everyone, for being here. I do appreciate you. And Quincy's back for his second round and laying right on me. That's the thing. Okay, hold on. I've got to. Don't move, okay? Don't move. Stay right there, Quincy. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move, baby. Okay, just... Yes, I know. Just stay right there, Larry. Okay, there you go. Let's switch the camera. So there's all of this desk, and this is where he sits, literally on with his butt in my face. Thank you.
Cats are rude. I keep saying it.
Look up. Show everybody your beautiful face. And he's like, I know you've got the camera on me. I know you are. I know you do. Look up and say hi.
Why is it they don't want to be held, but they want to be in the middle of everything you do?
There you are. There you are, pretty boy. Yes. All right. Sorry. For all the Quincy fans out there, there you go. All right, friends, have yourselves a wonderful rest of the hump day, and we will see you when we see you next. And until then, we wish you many, many, many blessings. Mwah. Bye, everybody.